morning, everybody. Crafting Journey here. And the dogs. It's, oh, do you hear that? Yeah. It is, not a nice day outside. We're going to be joined today by some thunder and lightning. Oh, that just shook the whole house. Wow. Okay. Pray for me. We'll get through the show. Let's start the show off with friend mail. So, I come home from work yesterday. I can't tell you how much fun it is to come home from work and there are packages on the porch. Today, when I get home from work, there should be some yarn there. You know how much I love my yarn. So, I went ahead and opened it because I know who it's from and what it is. And like I said, I do have one subscriber that chooses to support me through, instead of monthly donations or subscriptions or one-time donations through Super Chat or Buy Me a Coffee, she prefers to send me things. And I'm all about that. And we have become fast friends. She's like my big sister, little sister, whatever. She's like my sister. I called her during dinner last night to thank her. Anyway, so I already opened one of them because I could not wait to start using it. But I will show you what the other one is. They're both, she got them off of Amazon. They are both tulips crochet hook. Now, here's the other one that I did not open. This one is the red. It is a 5mm, which she did ask me what were my favorite, and I said 5, 5.5, and 6. So she sent me the 5mm here. This is a Japanese company that makes ergonomic crochet. They make tons of stuff. Like, go on their website, you can see everything they make. These came off of Amazon, or maybe even, yeah, Amazon. They sell them on Etsy. They sell them as sets. They sell them individually, but they've got this super soft cushion grip that makes it, I mean, when I started crocheting with the other one last night, it was just gliding through the yarn. So I'll show you. This is the hooded scarf that I'm making. I'm still working on the scarf part, and it's really long because I'm going to add pockets to the end of this. So let me find where I left off here. Here's the hook. This one's pink. Yes, this is the 5.5. You see how it has this nice flat part here, and it's just got this nice cushiony feel, and it just kind of glides through the yarn. So your yarn is not separating. Oh gosh, this is a mess. Hold on. All right, whoa, we're coming undone here. Don't you love that when that happens? Okay, where was I? Okay, here we go. Here, I just took out like 3 stitches, which is called frogging. Not leapfrogging, but frogging. Okay, so here, look at this. Oh my gosh, it just kind of glides through the yarn. I'm doing a triple crochet. And the hook that I was using, sometimes it would get kind of hung up on the yarn. Not so with this beautiful hook. Oh my God. So I was crocheting late into the night last night. Yep, and if you let me, I would just sit here and crochet during the entire live. But anyway, thank you, narrate. Oh my God, they're called, the name of the company is Tulip, but these are the Etimo brand. The Etimo brand. They have different brands. And like I said, you could buy a whole set. If you buy a whole set, you're going to spend a good amount of money because these are not cheap hooks. So let me put that off to the side. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just love it. Anyway, okay. Where are we in the world? Oh my God. It's raining like crazy, thundering, lightning. I have to go to work. My boss is out of town, so we're going to get to work when we get to work because I'm probably going to be late because of this storm. Plus, I slept an extra half hour today. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I will confess to sleeping an extra half hour today. Yep. I'd like to say that I'm getting used to going to work, but I'm not. I was just super annoyed yesterday. You know, I'm used to quiet when I work, or I'm listening to something, you know, I'm usually listening to the trials, or, but, you know, when you have someone that, or two people that are in a cubicle behind you carrying on a conversation, it's just annoying. And then every once in a while they're like, down to a whisper, and you're like, really? So I get up, take a walk. Hopefully, when I come back, the conversation's over. No, of course not. It's not over. It continued. Oh, I wanted to poke my eyes out. Anyway, I'm so spoiled. Yes, I am. Anyway, I wanted to work from home today, but you know, because of the weather, and I kind of sprained my ankle a little bit walking yesterday. It's okay, but I left my computer at work, so I have to go to work. I got to get my computer because I do work from home Monday and Tuesdays. So, what national day is it? Oh my God, guys, you're not going to believe this. It's Friday. We always do a Friday dance on Friday. Well, today is National Chicken Dance Day. Now, I looked up the song. It's copyrighted. So please just sing it in your head. I'm going to sing it in my head. Oh, I should probably stand up, right? Okay, ready? Sing it in your head. Okay, that is the chicken dance. Now, I'm going to issue a challenge. If you're a creator and you're watching me, do the chicken dance. You can't play the music because it's a copyright. But, which is weird because there's all kinds of YouTube videos with the song playing, but I don't want to take any chances. So just think of it in your head. Now it's in my head and I want to sing it. You know how I love to sing on the show, but I can't. Do 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 do. We'll just do 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 do. I'm going to copyright that. That's what I'm going to do. It'll be good until I'm dead for 70 years. Ah! What is everybody doing this weekend? Well, tonight I am going to go to Mickey Sunshine Creates live. She's at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, because she's my bestie. And, you know, I got to support her, so I'm going to go to her live, and she's funny. If you hear her laugh, you'll just be like, ah! First you want to plug your ears, because it's pretty high-pitched. But she's very funny. And she's had more careers than, yeah, whatever. So, and you never know what the discussion's going to be about. So. Then after that, hour is over. At 8 Central, 9 Eastern is, hi baby. She doesn't like thunder. She's so scared. She's like, Mommy, it's thundering. Have a seat over there, honey. I know, it's bothering me too. Yeah, it's bothering me too. You're okay. You're okay. Yes, you are. I know a lot of people, I know they have that like thunder vest and stuff. Good girl. Good girl. She's a Coley right there. DP Addiction Adventures. She's live for an hour. Not sure what she's working on. She was doing a collab. Yeah, anyway. You're back. You were supposed to lay down. That didn't last long. And then tonight, late into the night, I don't know what time, is DP Addiction Adventures is having a pajama party live. I'm going to be there in her pajama party. Can't wait. I will have some pajama pants on and a regular top. The theme is going to be Hooters and Heifers. You know, we're going to, the ones of us that are part of the Hooters and Heifers, we're going to wear like cow themed stuff. So it should be fun. And it'll take us late into the night. And then tomorrow, yeah, I'm going to craft. I'm going to finish my laundry, do some crafting, run the vacuum, and I've got a great idea for tomorrow's show. So I don't want to spoil it, and hopefully it's not going to be raining. But I think you're really going to enjoy tomorrow's show. It's going to be completely different than what I usually do. No hints. No, you don't get a hint. No. Nope. Well, okay, I'll give you one hint. It involves the Cricut maker machine that has been sitting here lovely on my counter. Let us show us, Vanna. There it is, right there. The Cricut maker. Yeah. It involves that. Yes. That's the only hint you're gonna get. Okay. What's next? Judge, jury, and dirty. Oh my gosh. Yesterday. Okay, so it was kind of more of the same, but finally, we get some action. Some action. Well, sort of. I don't know if it's action, but anyway. Let's see. Where should I? See, I even wrote down wow. I wrote down wow. So we'll get to the wow here in a minute. Okay, so I already covered that page. Okay. So they bring on Joshua Plenty. He's another guy that was pulled over. He was headed to the hospital to pick up his girlfriend. She had just had surgery. He's going to pick her up. He's driving his father's truck, but he says he drives it all the time on a regular basis. Now, there's no body cam footage of this, so we know that in and of itself is a violation of the sheriff's department policy, because you're supposed to have your body cam rolling from start to finish on a traffic stop. He tells him, his usual spiel, I smell marijuana. And he was pulling him over because he wasn't wearing his seatbelt. And he admits, no, I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. So he says, you can search my vehicle. He gave him permission. He says, I don't have anything to hide. It's broad daylight. He does admit that he has been in trouble before. He's got miscellaneous misdemeanor, 2 misdemeanor crimes of dishonesty. And they don't say what they were. I think one was burglary of a structure. So anyway, he's driving this truck with no driver's license. He's on probation. Oops. So we do have the body cam from the backup officer who was following the proper sheriff department policy. And we see that this Joshua says, when the defendant comes out of his vehicle and shows him this straw and a baggie and tests it and says it's presumptive positive for meth, and he's like, wait a minute, that is not mine. Where did you get that? And he's like, oh, it was under the driver's seat. So this guy was really scared. He was very distraught. He ended up taking a plea because he felt like he had no choice. He just, is my word against the officers, which is the same story as a lot of these people. What are you going to do? He's a police officer. So he also filed a civil suit. So far, everyone, with the exception of 1 or 2 people, pretty much everybody has filed a civil suit against the sheriff's department for this officer's conduct. So then they put on the backup Deputy Carlberg, who was backing up this particular call with Joshua Plenty. And he really doesn't have, he's the patrol sergeant. He kind of explains his duties as a patrol sergeant, and he doesn't participate in the search. He stands back, as many of the backup officers do, with the driver while the defendant searches the vehicle and walks back and forth to his car. And this officer says, that meth is a problem in this county. Sure, because a police officer's planting it everywhere. So, Yeah, it's a problem. Um, oh my God. I know, innocent until proven guilty. I get it. I get it. Okay, the next guy that they put on is Randy Howell. He is Joshua's probation officer. He drug tested Joshua and he said there were no drugs found in his system. So, um, it says a lot when your probation officer is willing to testify on your behalf. And then the next victim is Benjamin Bowley. He was on his way home with his wife. His wife was driving. They had just bought diapers for the baby. They were on their way home, and he gets pulled over. They said, your tag light is out. Well, his tag light wasn't out. It was just very dim. And so then the defendant says, well, but, you swerved a couple of times. So he did say that his wife did swerve because she saw something in the road, like an animal or something. So, of course, we get the usual I smell marijuana excuse. And he says, we were not smoking marijuana. My wife is 3 months pregnant. We were not smoking marijuana, nor had we been smoking marijuana. So he and his wife are both asked to step out of the vehicle, of course, stand over by the patrol car. The defendant goes to his trunk, gets his gloves, comes back. He lays his gloves on the trunk. He looks at the driver's side. Then he grabs his gloves and goes over to the passenger side. He calls the defendant over to the car. He says, do you not smell that marijuana? And the guy says, I do smell marijuana. And he says, I truly did smell marijuana. And it was a very heavy odor of marijuana, but it wasn't coming from the vehicle. He says, I don't know where it was coming from, but it wasn't in the car. So lo and behold, and of course, there's no body cam video for this stop. He finds a baggie of meth in the center console with a straw, which is presumptive positive for methamphetamine. So, and then later on, he tells someone that he found it in the seat. So the defendant's stories don't even match as far as where he found it. So this guy's like, can you fingerprint it? Can you drug test it? Because this guy, he's been in prison. He knows his stuff. He's like, I want to see the body cam footage. I want fingerprints. I want you to drug test me. He's also suing. But because of this, he lost custody of one of his children. So, of course, he's suing. Yeah. Terrible. Really, really terrible. Okay, then we have Shelley Smith. She also gave, this is his wife. She was the driver. She's the one that gave permission to search the vehicle because she knew nothing was in there. And she even tried to tell the officer, listen, arrest me for it. Don't arrest him because he's going to lose his child. Let me take the blame for this. And so the prosecutor's like, why would you take the blame? You said this wasn't yours. She goes, it wasn't mine, but I didn't want him to get in trouble. But nope, the officer still arrested the other guy and not her. Man, what a tangled web we weave. So then they put on Laura Parrish, who is an assistant state attorney for Jackson County, or she used to be. She does not anymore. She's now in private practice. So she mentions that in two of the cases, in the Boiling case and in the Driggers case, Boiling is the one I just talked about, and Driggers was an earlier case. She said the defense attorney set the deposition of the defendant, police officer, and neither time he showed up. He just didn't show up. Now, she does say that that's not unusual for police officers not to show up for the depositions. And the usual practice is once they don't show up, the defense, whoever set the deposition, can do a rule to show cause, and that goes to the judge, and the judge can sign it. And then the defendant would have to come in front of the judge and say, explain why you didn't show up. But what happened was once this officer doesn't show up, this assistant state attorney, she's like, I can't prove this case. I don't, anyway, so she offers them both plea deals and they take it. So then we have Teresa Odom. Now, this lady, Teresa Odom, she reminded me so much of Nana of Seven Crafts. She really did. She had the mannerisms. She talked like Nana. She kind of looked like Nana. It just reminded me of Nana. I'm thinking, oh, poor Nana. Maybe Nana got stopped and she didn't know it. Nana, is your name really Teresa Odom? I don't know. But she was she was on her way from a friend's house and she was going to pay her electric bill. But her brake lights were flickering, so she got pulled over. Of course, it was raining. So she said, my brake lights flicker when it rains. So he tells her, now there is body cam footage of this. He tells her, I've got a canine officer on the way. I'm just going to have the canine walk around your vehicle. If that's okay. He says, but if you don't want to wait for the canine, you can just let me search your vehicle. So she's like, sure, you can search my vehicle. I don't have anything. Go ahead and search my vehicle. So she gets out of the vehicle. She has to open it from the other side. This truck is like beat up. She's like, if I turn this truck off, if I try to restart it, you're going to have to give me a push. I'm like, oh my God, Nana. So he cancels the canine. He begins his search. He goes back to his vehicle, gets his gloves. He asks her to step out of the vehicle, go over to his patrol car. Now there's a backup officer there. And so she's hollering at him, hey, I lost $5 today. If you find that $5, you let me know. I'm like, oh my God. So that's not what he finds. He finds a spoon and a little baggie in her purse. So she's like, wait a minute. He finds it on the passenger floor. Oh, wait a minute. No, he does find it in her purse. But he also finds a straw and a baggie on the passenger floor. So more than one thing. So, of course, she's like, that is not mine. No, sir. That is not mine. So she had some prior convictions of misdemeanor crimes of dishonesty. She had used crack cocaine in the past. In this case, she chose to enter a plea because she didn't think she'd be able to beat it. And she says, listen, I've got a grandchild at home I have to take care of because my daughter, she's a single mother. She has to work full time. I have to help her out. I don't have time to go to jail. So I took a plea. Also filed a civil lawsuit. The body cam footage for this traffic stop is very key. Very key. So next comes the Jennifer Rader. She's with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. She is a digital evidence technician, I guess. I don't know. So what she did, she took the footage from the Teresa Odom, Nana stop, and she slowed it down and she took still images, like over 100 still images of just him, the defendant, entering the vehicle with, and he's got one glove on, he's got the other glove in his hand, his other hand is like this. But you don't really see that until you see it in slow motion. I'm going to show you several stills that I took off the video. And because it's a still photo, and it's because I went back and watched it in real time, and you cannot see any of this in real time because it's going so fast. It happens so fast you don't see it. So when it's a still photo, as you can see here, you can see he's got something in his hand, and he takes the glove like this, and that hand goes out of view, and then it comes back and he's putting the glove on. So there, but Here's the funny part about this. They show like the first 3 or 4 pictures to the jury, and then all of a sudden the screen goes dark. And the judge says, "Oh my gosh, we're having technical difficulties. Okay, jury, we're going to send you to the back while we fix this." So they work on it, they fix it, they bring the jury back. Like, they were only gone for like 10 minutes. They bring the jury back and they try it again. It doesn't work. You get like 3 photos in, and we're all like, "We want to see the photos," you know. And he says, "You know what? We've called a technician that is contracted with the government. He's going to come out here. This is going to take some time." And I'm like, "No, we want to see those photos." They send the jury off again. Now, I don't know how long it was that they were gone. Bring them back. We finally get to see all of the still photos. And you can see as these photos progress, there is absolutely something in his hand. You can see it. I don't know what it is, but you can see that he has something there. But those poor jurors had to wait all morning to see it. Yes. I felt so bad for him. So that is the beginning of day 3. Then we get a couple of more victims, Derek Benefield and James Fears. In the case of Derek Benefield, he was driving during the evening. It was his regular car. He has no idea why he was pulled over. He was never told. He had 2 passengers. Now, he believes he could have possibly been speeding, but he was never told. But of course, we get the usual, "Hey, it smells like marijuana there." He ultimately finds a pin top from the driver's seat with a baggie that was in the top of this pin. He's like, "I've never seen that before." And this guy had 4 prior felonies, so he goes to jail for 7 months he spent in jail. And this was a plea deal. 7 months was a plea deal because he was a known felon. So he is also filing a civil lawsuit. He goes, "This guy ruined my life. I had to spend 7 months in jail." Then we have James Fears. He was with his wife Jade. They were pulled over again. They were on he had picked his wife up from work. She works at the grocery store. They were on their way to Walmart. They were stopped in the Lowe's parking lot. So there was an issue with his tag. So ultimately we find out that the tag that's on this truck does not match that truck. They ran the VIN number of the truck, and it comes back to a different tag. So I don't know what's going on with that. So he's like, "I got to tow this vehicle because, that the tag you have on that car doesn't match." The woman gives her driver's license. It's not valid. There is body cam video of this, and there is another officer on the scene, and they're both doing the search. They give them permission to search because, again, they didn't think there was anything in the car, But they find, and it's interesting because there's 2 people searching, 2 deputies searching, but they're switching sides. We've got one starts out as the driver, one starts as the passenger, and then they kind of, at some point they switch sides. I don't know what was the reason, and then they switch sides again, and I don't know. So yes, the other officer, not the defendant, but the other officer finds baggie, and it was behind the front passenger seat. So I think what happened is the other officer found what the defendant had planted during this, them switching sides, back and forth, back and forth. So, of course, it's presumptive positive for methamphetamine, and they don't take the woman to jail, but they take the man to jail. He has 4 prior felony convictions, and eventually his charges are dropped. And he also has a civil suit. So that is where we're at. So that covers the final part of day 2 and the first part of day 3. I was literally up last night crocheting at midnight listening to this, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to put this down because it's so fascinating. I've got to like shut it off. I'll cover the rest of day 3 tomorrow. I don't want to get too far behind because this trial is actually happening as we speak. Like today, it will be day 5 of that trial. It's expected to last for a couple of weeks. So, yeah. So I'll have plenty to cover on Monday. So we'll get caught up. Anywho, okay, gotta go to work. I don't think that's copyrighted, is it? Gotta go to work. My dogs are not happy with me. Okay, so this day in history, in 1948, in Blackburn, England, in this Queen's Park hospital, a 3-year-old is kidnapped out of her bed. She is there. I broke a nail. What the heck? Anyway, she's kidnapped out of her bed. She's recovering from pneumonia. And she is kidnapped. The nurses come in and she's gone. 1:20 a.m. The nurses go in to check on her. She's not there. They find her body the next day. And I'm not going to tell you the details of how she died because it's pretty gruesome. But what's important in this case, not that her death is not important, but I don't want to go into those details on the show, but the murderer left 2 very significant clues: a footprint and fingerprints on a water bottle that had been moved. And they were able, of all the fingerprints on the water bottle, they were able to exclude everyone, the people known, and there was one unknown set of prints on this water bottle. So this water bottle, the set of prints, does not match anybody in the police database. So here's the unusual part. They decide they are going to get clever, and they are going to fingerprint everybody in this town. They fingerprinted over 2,000 people in the hospital. Nobody came back a match for this print. So then they decide, we're going to fingerprint everybody in this town. Everybody. They collected over 40,000 sets of fingerprints in this town. None of them came back a match. So they checked this against every registry that they could find, and they determined that there were still a few men who hadn't given their fingerprints. So they went and found them, and on August 11th, they caught one of those men, fingerprinted him, his footprints matched, his fingerprints were matched, he was convicted of the murder, and he was executed. But you could not do that in the U.S. You cannot randomly fingerprint people. The police had assured everyone that once they were excluded, the fingerprints would be destroyed. I'm not sure if I believe that. There was more than 25,000 homes in this town where they went to check this. This is crazy. Wow. So, yeah, in the U.S., there's a 4th Amendment protection preventing searches without probable cause. So they can't come to your home and say, hey, I want to fingerprint you. You can just say, no thanks, I'm waiting for a yarn delivery, try next door. No. But they got their guy. They did. I don't want to go to work. Okay. We're going to wrap this up. Look, I'm almost done with this section here. Oh, you guys can't see it. What the heck? Okay, let me show you. Let me show you without dumping everything off the table. Yes, we're getting done with this section here, and then we're just going to move across. Yes. Then I'll be back in view, right? Guys, just have a great weekend. I hope to see you around. I hope to see you in a live tonight. If you see me, say hello. Do not forget, I just want to, if you've made it to the end of this video, don't forget the Crafters 90-day step challenge. That will start June 1st. So you have till then to sign up. The form, there's a Google form in the Crafting Journey Facebook group. In order to join that Facebook group, you just have to answer a couple of questions. It just helps me to keep bots out of that group. So answer a couple questions, sign up on the form, and we're going to put some people on teams. We've got Team Captains DP Addiction Adventures, Tina's Crazy Craft Addictions, Crashly, we've got Crystal, and myself. It's going to be so much fun. Yes. So take care. Have a great weekend. I love you all. Bye.